Good morning, friends. We have completed life process initial three topics. Now we have come to the new topic called 5.4 topic, that is respiration. Okay, and the remaining three topics are 5.5, it is transportation. 5.6, it is excretion. Today we will start with respiration. Okay. As previously said, through nutrition, what food we have taken, it is used up by our various cells in the body to provide energy. So during respiration, it is mainly depends upon the availability of oxygen to the cells. Availability of oxygen to the cells. If oxygen is available and if oxygen is not available, okay, if oxygen is available, it is called as aerobic respiration, and if oxygen is not available, it is called as anaerobic respiration. Through aerobic respiration, presence of oxygen, the food we have eaten, like especially glucose, it is converted into pyruvate, and pyruvate is converted into carbon dioxide and water and some amount of energy. If oxygen is not available, it is of two types. In yeast, it is converted into ethanol. It means alcohol plus carbon dioxide plus energy. In our muscle, where there is no oxygen, this glucose is converted into lactic acid plus energy. Main difference between aerobic and anaerobic respirations is, through aerobic respiration there is a lot of amount of energy is released. In case of anaerobic, only small amount of energy is released. Okay, so in muscle, where the glucose is converted into pyruvate and then converted into lactic acid, and this lactic acid, when increased in muscle, they causes crampy pains. And remember a clinical point to students who are interested in BPC for class 11 and 12. Respiration in human beings takes place for 1 minute is 16 to 20 times for each minute. Remember this point and write in your notes. Okay, the amount of energy, it is mainly released in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate, and this energy, it is utilized for various chemical reactions that are taking place in the various types of cells. Since aerobic respiration takes place and depends upon the oxygen, aerobic and so in plants especially, important in plants is, plants during daytime they mainly prepare their own food. It means it is taking place in photosynthesis. So carbon dioxide in environment, it is utilized. During night time, plants do not prepare food, So they don't use carbon dioxide, rather than they release carbon dioxide during night time. And in human beings, during daytime, all the human beings use oxygen at daytime and also oxygen at night time, and we release carbon dioxide into environment. And in plants, carbon dioxide or oxygen from environment takes place via process called as diffusion. The next step is, so we'll discuss with clearly with in aquatic aquatic animals. Okay, aquatic animals, oxygen or carbon dioxide is dissolved in water, whereas terrestrial or territorial organisms present on land, they utilize undissolved oxygen or carbon dioxide. In aquatic organisms, oxygen is taken in diffused form. Example, fish in water takes water into mouth, push this water to their gills, and from gills they distribute oxygen and carbon dioxide. Whereas in human beings, oxygen is taken into nostrils or nose. Nose is lined by hair particles and mucous membranes. From the nose, it is taken to throat. From the throat, it is taken to windpipe or trachea. From trachea to lungs. Through diagram, I will say you. Nose, from the nose, it is taken to throat. From the throat, it is taken to trachea. From the trachea, it is divided into two bronchi, right bronchi, left bronchi. From the bronchi, it is taken into lungs. In the lungs, there are a small, minute tiny structures called as alveoli. There are 1 to 2 million alveoli in each lung. Alveoli are arranged in circular structures because to increase surface area for gaseous exchange. And whenever we take air, it means during inspiration our ribs are pulled out and diaphragm is taken flat. This provides a huge place for air to suck in from environment. Whenever the air is sucked into lungs, it reaches alveoli. So listen carefully. Uh, these are alveoli. The lungs are designed in a specific way that these alveoli are lined with blood vessels. This is a membrane called as alveolar membrane present in between the alveoli and blood vessels. So from the air, whatever we took the air, oxygen, it comes to alveoli. From the alveoli, through the process called diffusion, the oxygen is diffused through the alveoli into the blood vessels. The same way, the carbon dioxide present already in the body released through process called as we have already said that the oxygen, the glucose is breakdown into carbon dioxide and energy in the muscle and in the presence of oxygen. All this carbon dioxide will be transported from a lower concentration to the higher concentration. It means in the body the carbon dioxide is increased. This carbon dioxide move out through the same alveoli I have said, blood vessels, oxygen diffused like this. The same carbon dioxide present in the body, it goes outside through. So through outside through these the same concentration it is increased in the body through carbon dioxide from various processes of the body taken in the body. This carbon dioxide is left out. This is called as exchange of gases in the body. However, in the lungs, in the alveoli, there is some amount of oxygen or some amount of air is always present in the body. It is called as residual volume. Residual volume. And the trachea, I have said, the trachea which is present, it is surrounded by trachea, and this trachea is surrounded with cartilage, semi-closed structures, the ring-like structures called as cartilage. This cartilage will make it preventing from collapse of the trachea. So to prevent collapse, this cartilage is around. So next we will see the thing is the questions which are laid down for us are what advantages over an aquatic organism does a terrestrial organism have with regard to obtain oxygen for respiration. So terrestrial organisms are present on the land. They use oxygen directly present in the air, so they use undissolved form of oxygen. And also this aquatic organism, and they have lungs, they usually aerobic respiration, and they use less amount than because of aquatic organism they use dissolved form of oxygen. They use a lot of oxygen present in the water. The next question is what different ways in which glucose oxidized to pyruvate. So we have said already, glucose is in the presence of oxygen. It means aerobic respiration. It is breakdown into glucose breakdown into carbon dioxide plus energy in the aerobic respiration through a process called as pyruvate. Through pyruvate, glucose converted into aerobic respiration converted into carbon dioxide energy. In the muscles where there is no oxygen, converted into lactic acid plus energy plus carbon dioxide. In anaerobic organisms like yeast, it is converted into ethanol plus carbon dioxide plus energy. However, due to aerobic respiration, a lot of amount of energy is released. How oxygen is transported in human beings? So I have said already for you through a process called as diffusion. Alveoli are present, and there is a blood vessels. There is a small membrane presenting between the blood vessels and alveoli. This is called as alveolar basement membrane. Through oxygen from the air directly diffuses into the body. This is oxygen, and in the body where carbon dioxide is present, it is diffused outside through like this. how a lung design in human beings to maximize the sites of air affection. So I have said already there are two lungs present. Each lung has multiple small tiny structures called as alveoli. These alveoli are 2 to 3 million in each lung, and this alveoli will help in increasing the surface area for absorption of the gases or transportation of gases. Okay friends, next topic is 5.4. We'll start with transportation in our next class. Thank you one and all.